There are so many animals in today's society that are being abandoned. When people in our society move on with our lives and no longer worry about any animal, then they simply just leave them on the side of the road like they're a piece of trash or by a dumpster. Some animals could still be living at a home and could be abused or forced to fight for their lives because their owners simply just don't care for them anymore and will leave them out in the winter or in the midday when it's hot. People tend to shop for animals at pet stores instead of going to a shelter and adopting an animal that is in a small cage that has between 2 to 3 other animals. The reason why most people shop for animals is because they believe the animals that are in a shelter are dirty, or because the animals in a shelter could be mean because they could have lived in an abusive home before. With this being said, if you must give your animal away because you cannot take care of them anymore, then you need to look into this nonprofit organization called the ASPCA. Another reason as to why you should take your animals to the ASPCA if you do not want them anymore is because the ASPCA is a no-kill shelter. Most animals will end up in a no-kill shelter. Most animals will end up in a shelter, and most shelters nowadays are no-kill shelters. Which means that once the shelter gets full of animals, then the animals that have been there the longest will get killed, no matter if they are puppies or however old they are. On the other hand, if you are interested in adopting, then you can visit the ASPCA website. Once you get to this page, it'll give you the choice between what age of a dog you want, what color dog you want, what breed dog you want, or how big or small you want. And then your search will begin there. If you are wanting to get rid of any of your animals, if you are not wanting to get rid of any of your animals, but you see an animal in a bad situation, then you can call the ASPCA and the rescue team will go out and save the animal, no matter depending on what situation they're in. If they're stuck in a flood or stuck in a car or they're stuck in a flea-infested home, you can call the ASPCA and they'll save them. If you would like to get an animal but just simply do not have the space to get them, then you can visit the ASPCA website and donate as much money as you'd like to help the animals in need. If you do not have the means to donate but would still like to help the ASPCA in some way, then you can become a volunteer. In order to become a volunteer, you must be at least 16 years of age and you must serve 8 hours per month for the minimum of 6 months. You cannot apply to be a volunteer if you are trying to fulfill a court-appointed community service because they just don't want someone trying to get it out of the way to go and help them. The volunteers help workers in many ways. They will play with the animals, they will bathe the animals, they will walk them, and they will feed them, and they will even clean the cage that the animals are living in. By donating this money, it'll help the ASPCA workers and volunteers get the money and food and toys and medication and the bedding stuff and even stuff to make them healthy, and it'll help it cover it all. This nonprofit organization was founded in 1866 and still continues to grow and will be help in the available space that could be needed.